that left me in a really depressed spot. And at the same time, my dad had stopped talking to me. So I got ghosted in real life by him. Like, it was talking to me one day, and then I've not heard from him.
Oh, my God. What's up, everybody? It is yours truly, the world heavyweight champ, everything vibey, leader of the wolf pack, mature the servant, and you are listening to the Rap Shyt Podcast. And this is the podcast that is kicking off 2024. This is an exciting time, man. For those who follow the brand, you guys know I did the Rap Shyt magazine. And so we've transitioned into a podcast, and we bring in independent artists, independent music straight to your airwaves. And I'm excited. We are going to go ahead and get into this show. But first, I would be remiss if I did not tell you to tap in with all the streaming platforms. Some like Apple Podcasts, some like Google Podcasts. Maybe you on Deezer, iHeartRadio. Maybe you using one of those rabbit ear radios in your mama's basement somewhere trying to get cable and talk to aliens. I don't know. But whatever you're doing, you gotta be listening to this podcast because today, oh my people, oh my, if you knew the depths, the lengths in which it took to get this one right here next to me, oh my God. Listen, I have put in countless hours. I've had nightmares that maybe it wasn't gonna happen, but I had dreams that this would happen. And now, we got us a guest in the building, y'all. We got us a guest. And so I am excited. She know I'm making fun of her, too.
I love it.
But I'm excited, man, to have our guest in the building with me. Also, I need you guys to shout out to my sponsors. Yaktown Don't Back Down. Yes. Shout out to my boy Sean P, who is constantly, always, at all times showing your man's love by letting me even use this facility here. You see the merch in the background. Let me tell you something. I got the hoodie. I got the shirts, the sweatshirts, the jogging pants.
Yes.
I got everything. I done cleared this man out. Me. So, listen, you guys definitely want to shout out them. And then also, shout out Overdope. Shout out the Overdope production team with their Overdope Dope World News podcast. Yes. So, shout out to them as well. Yes. But now, listen, my guest today, y'all. Let me tell you something. I gotta turn up the facts.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Let me tell you something. She don't miss.
I can't.
She don't miss.
Oh
I have been following her music for some time, man, and it's crazy because when I came more into the Pontiac scene, there's always artists trying to tell you about another artist. But this one right here, everybody has told me at one point in time about her.
Oh, wow.
And so as I have gotten to check out the catalog with the albums, with the covers from the YouTube to the live Facebook videos, this girl here is,
This motherfucker don't miss.
I'm trying to tell. She don't miss.
Oh, my God.
She don't miss. So let me explain something. She is a recording artist. According to Sheen, she got to be a brand ambassador, okay?
Come on, speak it.
She is a brand. We gonna call that one right now for 2024.
Come on now.
She is a fashion nova, and she is the soon to be ready to launch soon entrepreneur of a new lip gloss brand. Yes. Ren.
Yes.
Lauryn Nichole is in the building.
What's up? Hello.
Show her some love.
Hello, y'all. What's up?
What is going on?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me. I'm just
I
so
hope I
honored.
did you justice. I hope I did you justice.
You did. Like, I'm about to cry. I'm a very emotional person, so that was amazing. Thank you.
Super dope. I'm so glad to have you in the building with us.
Thank you.
Because you have a true super amazing raw talent.
Thank you so much.
And for me being an artist, I've been doing music since I was in elementary.
Wow.
And for me, I've done it for over 20 years. I've met tons of artists. And there are artists that I could tell they've worked hard at their gift, right? They learn how to rap from somebody, and they've worked hard. But there are few who I meet who I was like, you were born with this.
Wow.
Lauryn,
Oh
This
my
motherfucker
God.
don't
Thank
miss.
you.
you was born with it. She was born with it. We got Mom Dukes in the building. So Mama, you created this. Shout out to Mama. She created it, okay?
Mom.
You was born with it, so it came from Mama.
It did.
Shout out to
It
Mom
really
Dukes
did.
for
I
it.
could not do this without her.
Being in the building. Let's talk about just your background. Let's talk about how you even came into it, because for a lot of people, everybody has their like Marvel, their origin story.
Yeah.
What is your origin story when it comes to music?
Oh, it's definitely a long origin story.
Oh, listen, we got time. We got time.
So I actually started off as a dancer. I thought I was gonna be like the next professional choreographer,
Okay.
Beyonce's background dancer. Like dance was my entire life.
Okay.
So I did that from 2 years old all the way up until like 9, 10, and I injured myself. I have a foot condition called plantar fasciitis,
Okay.
and you're not supposed to get that until you're like 50. But because I was so like heavy in dance class all the
Dedicated, yeah.
time, I was in dance class probably six days a week.
Okay.
What was it, like 4 hours I'd say, like after school.
Okay.
In like 8 different classes, and then I had like 10 to 13 different like routines at recitals.
Cut it out.
So I think that's really where I got my work ethic for the
Yeah.
music thing, because like with dance they teach you to be very like disciplined,
For sure.
like your adrenaline, like your breath control, like there's just so much that dance offers.
Okay.
So yeah, I was heartbroken though, because I couldn't dance anymore, and I could dance now, but at the time it was like I couldn't even walk. I had crutches. I had this big cast. They were talking about surgery. They were talking about stuff that I was not here for.
Fatality.
My
Okay.
goodness.
I
What?
was not here for it. But I really think now growing up, it was a blessing in disguise, because
Okay. Come on.
I would have not stopped dancing, got into music if that wouldn't have happened. if I'm
Really?
being
So
honest.
you weren't even thinking about music at
No.
all? Wasn't on your radar?
No. Like, I knew I could sing, but like
Right.
it was never something I was confident in. It was never something that I like.
What?
I always said when I was a kid I wanted to be an entertainer, but it was always dance. Like I
Okay.
didn't really see like being an artist.
Yes.
So when that happened, it was like, okay, I don't have any other way to express myself.
Okay.
And slowly but surely, I was singing in the shower. And my mother comes in and she goes, "Was that you singing?" And I was like, "No."
No. No, it is not me.
No, because I was petrified of singing in front of people. Dance
Right.
is something like if you mess up, nobody knows. Like you could just act like it didn't happen. Singing, if you have a voice crack, like
Oh, everybody knows.
yes,
You hear it.
Yes,
It's-
you can hear it immediately.
You can hear
It's
it.
embarrassing.
Very much.
And in my mind, I was very afraid of not being accepted or not being good enough or not just not having that confidence to have or hear people's opinions. Like
Right,
I didn't
right.
want to feel embarrassed or make mistakes at the time. So that was out of the question. But anyway, she told me to post a singing cover on Facebook. I posted it. Everybody went crazy over it. Started my YouTube channel. Think I did a video asking people to rate my singing on an app called
Right.
Monkey. It blew up, got like 400-something thousand views, and I was like, okay, maybe I can sing.
Maybe we own to something.
Maybe this could be a thing. So we're
Okay.
here.
Wow. And how long ago was this?
I want to say I started my channel when I was 13. I'm 20 now. So like 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I was just posting hella covers.
Yeah.
And when I turned 15 is when the video blew up. So yeah, it was the start of this.
Now, okay, you starting at 13, you're 20. I'm sure tons of people are always listening to your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get tons of comments and
Yeah.
likes and all that. How does it feel to have this much people like support behind you? All these people like,
Yeah.
girl, you can do it. And you're like, I was never gonna do this. Like,
it felt great.
yeah.
It kind of just it almost like gave me my confidence because
Okay.
I was so unconfident and so afraid.
Really?
And yeah, like I really didn't think I could sing. Like I felt like I could, but
No, she didn't, y'all. No, she did.
This motherfucker don't miss.
And she talked about she was shy and
I was
nervous.
so scared. I
What?
was terrified.
Okay.
So seeing that definitely boosted me a lot because like it just never hurts to hear like, oh, you actually can sing or you actually are good.
Facts, yeah.
And I needed that at the time. I needed someone to uplift me and speak life into me. My mom has always done that, but it's different.
Shout
when
out
you
to
hear it from
mom.
strangers.
Shout out to mama.
Yes. Yes. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
You got to.
So yeah, it was very humbling. Very grateful for people that have joined my journey, even when I'm a different person, obviously, when I was 13.
Yeah.
So like they're looking at the confident me and the girl who believes in herself now.
Right.
But like the people that have supported me believed me before I got here.
For sure.
So I can't even explain how grateful I am for it.
That is very huge, and it's very important that you even recognize that, because when I started off doing music, a lot of people did not see it.
Yes.
A lot of people was just like, what are you doing? You know.
And I don't like that.
It took a very long time. Now, granted, there were a lot of people who knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
They could see it in me.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of people who just, even in my own family, who
I believe it.
did not.
You the ones.
They was like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. You can rap.
There's
That's
only
cool.
1% that you're gonna make it though.
But it wasn't until, I was like, hey, I'm getting paid to go on a tour. And they were like, oh, you really do? Yes, I do.
Yes, this isn't a game.
And even recently, I just put out, back in November, I just released my first movie.
I saw that.
House of Tea.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you
that.
so much.
That's huge.
Appreciate it.
You're
And,
welcome.
even when I started my film journey, again, people didn't believe until they see it.
They see it, yeah.
And they really see, like, oh, you're gifted at this.
Yes.
Oh, you're not just doing this.
Right.
And granted, music and entertainment can be oversaturated with
Yeah.
tons of people who are just doing it because they want the money, they want the attention, they want the scene.
Yeah.
But there are so many people who are truly gifted, who I believe belong in the industry because of their gift.
Yes.
And those people sometimes you gotta go through those years of people getting you mixed up with, oh, you just doing this for fun? No, I really want to do this.
Right.
Oh, you just dance because it's cool? No, I really want to do this.
This is a passion. This is a purpose.
Kudos to you for sticking to it, man.
Thank you. You too. Because
Thank
it really isn't easy when you have a lot of naysayers.
For sure.
Especially when you're already not doing the traditional path.
For sure.
So it's like a leap of faith, really.
Yeah.
And like I have a song that's coming out called I Don't Fit In, I Stand Out. And I say, don't care about opinions of the crowd, silence the sound.
Mm-hmm.
You have to silence the sound of other people because you cannot let that be what like steers your path. Like you have to just take your own path. So silencing the sound could be hard, but at the end of the day, like you said, if they don't see it now, they're going to see it eventually.
For sure. You have to believe in yourself.
You have to. You have to have faith.
You have to. You got to know that you got to see the other side before other people see it.
Yes.
And so a lot of times people have seen, either my career or whatever, and they question, what are you doing? And it's not until they actually see the finished product.
Yes. That's like, whoa.
Oh, this is why you missed all the birthdays and holidays.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is why you wasn't coming to the functions.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was out here building.
Yes.
So
you deserve a
hit me with a
You don't miss. You don't miss.
He don't miss. Give me
This
one of those.
motherfucker don't miss.
Give me one of those. Okay.
Come on now.
So super dope, super dope. Now let's talk about just some of your earlier stuff, because when you got into music, I'm sure your music now, and we gonna get to this part actually down the road, but your music now, I'm sure, is different than 13.
So different.
Coming in at 13, I think of the Chris Browns and them who did it young, the Marios who did it young.
Yeah.
And Chris Brown, he had a funny interview, obviously talking about just how grown women was in love with him because of the stuff he was saying when he was young. How did you develop your sound at 13, and how have you tried to mature that as you've matured now that you're 20?
So first off, I'll say it's funny that you said the whole Chris Brown thing, how like older women could connect to him. I started off writing very like grown things, not like sexual, but I was talking about like getting a wedding ring and having an intuition about men and like getting cheated on. I'm like, girl, you're 13. Who's cheating on you? Nobody.
She's like Brian in science class.
He's cheating on me with Rebecca. Like,
I knew it.
But I don't know. I really just took the experiences I was feeling from like what I was going through in my household.
For sure.
So I really wasn't writing about myself. I was writing about what I was seeing happening to people around me.
Yeah.
And after dance got taken away from me, I didn't have that outlet. And not only what I was watching happen to people I care about, but to me. Like, I have a project called Daddy Issues. Me and my dad have had just a really rocky relationship my entire life. And I watched him do a lot of just not so nice things to my mom.
Right.
And he didn't always treat me the best. So And then on top of that, you're going to school, you're trying to find your crowd, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to just be in a society where everybody's judgmental and like peer pressure. It was just a lot. So I was feeling a lot of things internally and I didn't know how to get it out. So that's where I got all of my topics from. Like, and at first I didn't even really know how to write to a beat or anything. I just write how I was feeling. The first song I did was called Not Capable, and it was about my dad, like me accepting that he's not capable of being the dad that I need him to be for me. So
you
that
talking.
was, man, it was a lot, but it's really what helped me get to where I am today. So I can't even say much has changed because I still talk about that stuff at 20. I think as far as my lyricism has developed and evolved tremendously.
For sure.
Just growing and having experience and becoming a woman.
Yes.
But I still pull from the same place that I did at 13.
Super dope. Now let's break down your technique, because you just said you was just like, hey, I was just writing how I feel and putting it to the music.
Yeah.
How have you developed your artistry? You know, a lot of people, I know they can go in there and just get to singing. Hit record, they go say whatever they feel.
I can't do that. I cannot do that.
Some people can get in there and they got to write it all out.
I'm not the best at that.
Okay.
But how I do it is I get a notepad now. Like I said, at first I couldn't do a beat, and then I kind of got into beats when I was like 14, 15.
Okay. Me
and my mom were driving back and forth to Chicago. This manager found me on Instagram back then, and he was like, I want to help you, so-and-so. So we didn't really know of any recording like places out here.
Gotcha.
So we was going back and forth to Chicago for 6 months straight every week, just to record music, just to do like interview touring and all of that. That was before I even had any music out.
Right.
So I think that really helped me kind of like grow as a writer. Yeah. And I was surrounded by other artists who kind of like got the notepads out, played the beats, started humming melodies. So I kind of took from them, and now I get my notepad, I write like a concept that I want to do, and I write like this paragraph of everything I want to say. And then when I listen to the beat, I kind of do the melody thing, do the humming thing, and sometimes when something doesn't speak to me, I'll like take a break. But if it like, sometimes it just automatically
comes. It hits you.
You know, whatever that melody is. And then I just look at my concept, whatever I wrote, and like say, okay, how do I want to convey this to somebody?
For sure.
It kind of just comes together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Listen, I was up last night until like 3:30 this morning working on a song. That just hit me out of nowhere.
And that's the thing about creativity and art. You can't tell it when it comes to you.
You can't.
Like, I call it, I get hot. Like, I get physically hot when something comes to me. And if you don't get up in the moment, you don't know if it's going to come back.
You can lose it. I've lost songs.
Yes.
I'm like, I'll write this tomorrow.
You
get up in the morning and be like.
Because you weren't obedient to what you should have.
I don't even remember how it go no more. I'm a.
Yes.
Definitely.
Another thing I do too is I get my voice memo out, even if, because sometimes I'll be at work and something will come to me. I'll be like, can I go to the bathroom?
Yep.
Get my voice memo out, record the harmony or the melody that I'm hearing.
Been there.
Yes, you have to, because like you said, you're going to forget it.
And it's crazy because you never, like you say, you never know when creativity will hit you, because sometimes you can be in the middle of something random and you might see something, you might hear something, you could be reading something.
And it sparks.
And it just clicks. Like the song you've been trying to write, it clicks. And you're like,
this is it.
I need it. Give me something.
Give me something.
It's happening. You know, so, but that is so awesome. So let's get into a question here. Okay. You do a lot of covers.
Yes.
You also write your own music.
Yes.
What do you have fun more doing, the covers or your own?
I actually don't like doing covers at all.
Get out of here.
I'm like not a fan.
What?
I like doing my own music.
This motherfucker don't miss.
I can't believe it.
I don't know. It's not that I can't say I dislike them. I'm just so passionate about my own music, and I'm so excited to get that out there.
Yeah.
That like singing somebody else's song feels more of like a hassle or like a task.
Okay.
And I don't like when things feel like a task.
Yes.
Unless I'm like really passionate about whatever that song is I'm singing.
For sure.
But I think it's just because I'm so passionate about my own music. But I do like doing covers for content reasons, purposes, because I know it brings the familiarity to people.
For sure.
So I kind of just like suck it up, like, okay, I'll do a cover. But it isn't my favorite thing to do. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
But I do like taking people's songs and remixing them. Anything I can do that I can bring my originality to, I love.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, super dope. Now, how many projects in total have you put out?
2. 2. Yeah, I have Daddy Issues. I have 17, and then my first song by itself is called Cope. So Cope came first, then it was 17, and then it was Daddy Issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've took some time because when you come on the Rap Shyt Podcast here, can we do things professionally? I don't know about these other people in their podcasts and how they interview people. I like to do my homework. Okay. So I've watched tons of the videos you've put out.
What?
You have some very unique ideas. One, you got a great shout out to your camera guy or female. They amazing.
She's one of my camera guys.
What?
Yep.
Mama.
All the stuff you've seen me doing downtown Pontiac, she recorded.
Mama, you getting claps right now on the podcast. Boy, Mama don't play. Listen, Mama.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Mama don't miss.
She don't play.
So out of these videos you've done, because you've had some really deep introspective ones. You've had ones where you were just dancing, you was getting your groove on. You've had some really beautiful ones that were more so message speaking to.
Yeah.
For you, what is the fun part of these videos for you? Like, how do you come up with these ideas? How do you sit? What is that process that you do? Because for artists, a lot of times they have great songs. And they don't know how to transition them to a great video.
Yeah.
You have a lot of great songs that truly have great videos with them.
Thank you.
I do mean
it.
that. So,
thank you so much.
how do you sit down and formulate those ideas? And what is your kind of go-to when you're trying to get your videos ideas out?
For the most part, I'd say it's really just sitting with the song, kind of going back to writing the concept of like what I want to convey to people. So how I write, like I'm already thinking about what the music video is gonna be like. Like I'm a very like cinematic, theatrical thinker when it comes to visuals. So like as I'm writing the song, I'm like, okay, you could have, for instance, Psycho. I'm already thinking I need to be in a psych ward because I'm going psycho. So I'm very intentional about like seeing the physical vision before even writing the song. And really, like I said, just how can I best convey my words visually?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a visual learner. So it's like, how would I wanna consume something is what I think about.
True.
And then I also speak to God. God gives me most, like all my, I can't even say most, all my visions.
For sure.
And I always ask him, okay, like, what do you want me to convey to your people right now?
Right.
And it comes together.
Bam.
I get hot and you get that, voila.
Oh, I'm sweating. It's coming. Ideas.
I be sweating so bad. I be having to get in a fan. And mind you, it could be like super cold in my room. I got the fan on. I'm drenched because, and I think that's just the passion and really when God is speaking to me, like you said, that creative spark that comes to you. So yeah, it doesn't go away until I write it down or get it done.
That is so awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
super dope. I listen. Where the claps? Give me some claps. Cause she bringing the gems right now. People. So what we gonna do is we gonna get into this very first song.
Okay.
I Met a Guy. Again, super dope video.
Thank you.
That was an actor? Because I was like, they look so. Listen, Mama, I was like, is this the future son-in-law? This man is. They looked so cute on the video, man.
you.
But no, great video. Super, super dope song.
Thank you so much.
Before we get into it, kind of give me your thesis on this song and what spoke to you about this song and what did you want to give back to the people when they heard it?
So it was a part of my project called 17. The whole project 17 is about me falling in love and giving him my virginity, and then he ghosted me afterwards. So that was a whole situation, but I wanted to kind of like do the songs in the progression of how things took place.
Okay.
So like when you meet a guy and you're feeling butterflies and you're like, oh my God, he's different.
Right.
He makes me feel special. So that's where I was like coming from, like wanting people to feel like that genuine, like initial, like, what do they call it? Like what is the beginning stages of a relationship?
Puppy love?
Yeah, like puppy love.
Okay.
The honeymoon stage kind of vibe. So yeah, I was thinking about like Valentine's Day heavily too, and like a TikTok trend that people could do.
Yeah.
So yeah, just bringing the butterflies I wanted.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we are with Lauryn Nichole. I cannot believe it. She is in the building. Y'all don't know how hard we done worked to get her in the building, and it's been worth it. It's been worth it. I feel like Will Smith on The Pursuit of Happiness
Oh God.
when he got the job and he was clapping at the end with the tears in his eyes.
I
She's in the building. We are about to get into I Met a Guy. Y'all check this out. And listen, for those who are listening on the audio version, this is your exclusive. For those watching the YouTube version, you can't even get this because, you know, YouTube, they sure will hit you with that copyright. They
It will
play.
real quick.
So
On your own music.
On your own. You be like, this mine.
Right,
I own it. This is more. All right. So with that, guys, y'all enjoy this audio version of the song. If you're watching the YouTube version, go on the audio version podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Go on there, listen to the songs, follow this young lady, because, boy.
This motherfucker don't miss.
How many times I gotta tell you she don't miss? As we jump into I Met a Guy. That was I Met a Guy off the 17 project.
Yes.
Now, I gotta be honest. I'm a little bit biased for this project because one of my favorite projects growing up was Mario's 18 album. So I when I had a chance to take a look into this one, I was just like, wow. I like those projects that kind of define an era of your existence. Like 18, when Mario did 18, he was at a such unique point in his career because he was already a superstar, but I don't think people had the appreciation we do now for him.
Yeah. 100%.
And he was still finding himself
Yes.
as an artist. He was still finding himself as a young man. And I think I'm now, granted, I was 16, so I wasn't even 18 yet.
Yeah.
But it was exciting to hear his almost, you know, into manhood kind of thing. And 17 kind of has that thing too, where you're giving your story as like, hey, I'm growing up.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I've been doing recently, I just released a project called Beautiful Unknown Journey.
Ooh, I love that title.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it is a project that I do dedicated to my daughter. And so every song
Shout
on
out
the
to you for that. That's so sweet.
it's a now I'm on my second one. This is the I just released Beautiful Unknown Journey 2, and they are every song that I do on there is 4 songs per project. So every song that I do on there are personal like song letters to her for when she get older she'll understand, right?
Oh my God, I love that.
So it's super dope because it's writing again like 17 or like 18. It's writing from where I am as her dad right now.
Yeah.
And then to where I hope she'll understand when she gets of age. You get what I'm saying? So for you writing 17, give me just the feelings, the things that I think are important to you at that age as you're turning 17, 18, because that's a huge, that 17, 18 era is very important for a lot of,
it is.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so we're growing, we're defining ourselves. And I think one of the things now that I definitely want to hear from you, as you talked about on Facebook, is you're in a new season of your life.
Yes.
You give it whatever we used to know, throw it away.
Forget about her.
Right now, this is you giving us a whole new you, and I'm sure a lot of that comes off of the bones of what 17 was.
It
I'm
does.
sure, because at that age, you were in a different mindset, a different place,
Yes.
and now you've come to a place where you realize, hey, I'm about to really show you guys this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, not that I was fake, not that I was
Right.
pretending, but there are a lot of things that I probably held back. There were a lot of things that I put on the shelf. There are a lot of things that maybe I wasn't as confident that I am confident.
Yes.
Talk about that transition from 17 and now the rediscovering of Lauryn.
So 17, I was in a very depressed state. Like I said, the guy, I thought this was gonna be like my husband one day. You know, because when
I
you're
believe it.
when you're that age, you feed into the fantasies that people
For sure.
offer you, or just society and the movies, and like you want your Prince Charming.
Yep.
And I always valued my virginity like to the top pedestal you can think of, because you're giving your body to somebody.
sure.
So I was like, whoever I give it to, we need to be together forever. Obviously, sometimes that's just not reality. Most of the time, the first person you do that with, it's not going to be your husband. And it's happened before. Like, I feel like a lot of like old school, like high school sweethearts, I hear stories like that. So that's what I was kind of like chasing. So it broke my heart when he ghosted.
Oh.
Like,
My
like,
goodness.
dude, and the crazy part is it wasn't even like, you know, people like link up, we're not together. We were together. Like,
What?
we were boyfriend, girlfriend.
And then just after that, just.
Like, and
Oh my God! I can't believe it.
we were
I
together.
can't believe it.
Like, and he didn't, I can't say like when it happened, he just didn't say anything to me the next day. It was like a slow progression. It went from like, you want to see me all the time, you want to talk to me all the time, to like hearing from you once a day.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to see me
The
anymore.
slow fall off.
Yes, which made me just feel like, okay, you got what you wanted and you dipped. But what was the point of going through all that? But anyway, that left me in a really depressed spot. And at the same time, my dad had stopped talking to me. So I got ghosted in real life by him. Like, it was talking to me one day and then I've not heard from him.
Oh my God! Listen. I will say this because I want you to continue.
Yeah.
As a father
Yeah.
of a daughter
Yeah.
who is 4,
Oh.
who has not yet even understood nothing but daddy's love,
Yes.
and as a guy who has a past of being them same niggas, it almost eased me alive to think of my daughter going through those things,
Yeah.
those emotions.
Yes.
Because I know what it was like being the guy who did that to the girl, right?
Yeah.
So to fear the biggest, and I think it's like God being like, it's your time now.
I'm just kidding.
But that reality of, man, I would never want her to feel the way that I know I made someone feel. And so for you to be able to not only, especially even as a father, to think of even doing my daughter in ways that I'm sure you've experienced from your father.
Yeah.
For you to be able to sit here and articulate it so well
Oh.
and with so much understanding is a true miracle, because there are a lot of girls who are broken
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives just off their father.
Yeah.
And then to experience also males,
Yes. At the same time.
you could be 20 years old with so much bitterness, resentment,
Yeah.
hate, anger.
Yes. You're right.
Your songs could not be talking about how I met a guy. It could be like, F that guy.
Yeah.
But you speak with so much. So, look, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Mama, because I know Mama was there picking up the pieces. She was shooting videos and picking up the pieces, Mama.
was.
Shout out to you.
She kept me afloat.
Continue with the journey.
Yeah, so my dad, I had filmed my video Cope, and he, like I said, me and him have always just had a rocky relationship. So it was a thing of where everybody else came before me. And that puts a really huge, like, self-worth issue within yourself. Like, why am I not good enough? Why does he treat me like this, but he treats everybody else good?
Right.
He worked with kids, like juvenile kids.
Oh my God! Come on now. I feel like I
Yeah.
want this a Tyler Perry movie. Come on.
Yes. He was very. I used to see him, like, those kids used to look at him as like their hero. Like, he saved their lives, their paths. Like, looked at him as their dad. But it was never like that with me. Like, it was always like a cousin was more important, or like I said, the people he worked with. So I just never understood what the differentiation was. So yeah, we just were never close. And when you grow up like that, it's hard for you to fake like you are. So the thing with him is he wanted me to view him as a hero, but he wasn't being my hero. So when I didn't like fake the act with him,
For sure.
and it's not even that I didn't want that. It's just like I can't fake something that we're not. He didn't like that. So after my Cope video, he showed up. I want to say that the last 6 months of our relationship was great. Like, he was showing up for me. We was hanging out a lot. And it was because I had a conversation with him, one of the million conversations with him about, I just want you to be, like, there for me. That's all I'm asking for. You don't have to, like, it's not about money for me. It's not about child support. It's not about that. Quality time. Like, you don't even know me. You lived in the same house for 13 years, and you still don't know me. You know what I mean? So,
Man.
I'm 17 at this point, and yeah, so he showed up for the Cope video. He did what he could for that, and then I made a post just thanking everybody who's a part of it, but it came out that he wanted some type of special, like, post just for him.
Oh.
So when that didn't happen, screw you, I'm done with you.
Okay.
On my, like, he did that to me. So I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, it was like, F you, pretty much.
Oh, my God. I'm thinking you said
No. No. He said, screw me.
Okay.
And I want to say after the video got done being filmed, he called me like 5 times. And I hadn't answered just because I was like tired. Like I was asleep most of the time because videos bring a lot out of me.
They do.
Cope was a 2-day shoot. First of all, so that was a lot. So he was calling my mom. He was like, "Oh, tell Lauryn I called her," and I was like, "Okay, I'll call him back." I hadn't talked to anybody for those 5 days because I was trying to recoup my energy.
For sure.
And I think I had answered one of his texts like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I've just been really tired. I'll call you back." So I finally called him back, and he didn't answer. So I'm like, "Okay, I'll wait for him to call me back." He never called me back. And a month had went by, and at this point, I feel like as the kid, I was always the one to try to mend the relationship, always trying to fight for it, and always like have to be the adult in the situation. And I was tired. Okay, I'm like, you know what? If you don't want to call me back, I'm not gonna fight for something that is draining me already and making me feel like I have to fight for you to be in my life. I'm a good person. I do the best I can as a daughter, as a friend, as everything, and I should not have to fight for somebody to want me in their life.
For sure.
Like, and I'm your kid.
Yes.
I'm tired of taking that responsibility. So I just let it kind of die out. And then I want to say after that month, I was just so hurt because I'm like, you still haven't called me.
Right.
So I ended up going live. And I said my truth. Like it was something that I kept secret from a lot of people, like the relationship between me and him.
Yeah.
Because I was ashamed of it, really. And two, he on social media, he portrayed like we were really close. So it kind of felt like, who's going to believe me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, especially.
Because the optics don't look like that.
No. And he's a lot of people's heroes.
Wow.
You know? So it's really hard for someone who is looked at as a hero to believe that they treat their kid like this.
For sure.
So it was kind of also to get his attention as well. Like, you don't want to contact me anymore, then this is my live telling my truth. If you see this, call me. I love you, and I just want our relationship to work. And he still didn't reach out. He had my aunt call me and cuss me out, and yeah.
Girl, shout out to you, because you doing way more than me. Boy, I try to tell you, you would have got a slice of Chuck E. Cheese pizza, and if you don't eat it with me, we're done. That would have been, listen. Well, this is perfect. So let's go ahead and jump right into If Only You Listen.
Yes.
And then we gonna come back, we gonna talk some more about this, because at this point, girl, listen, I'm hitting you with this one at this point.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
This is why she's the GOAT.
I'm hot.
Because, boy, I'm talking at 20. Listen, if you gave me all of this at 20, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. I tell you that. I'd be somewhere in the psych ward, okay?
Man, I felt like
strapped up with the jackets, just mumbling to myself. So listen, let's go ahead and jump into If Only You Listen.
Let's do it.
We are back. That is If Only You Listen. And that's
why he's the GOAT!
Come on.
The GOAT!
Listen. I listened to that song. I watched the video with how you kept transitioning from girl to little girl.
Yeah.
The entire video.
I'm happy you picked up on that.
Boy, I'm talking about the storytelling was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Again, those one of the ones I'm like, it's deep.
Oh.
She getting deep. She ain't dancing for nobody on this one. It's deep.
Yes.
Very powerful stuff. As we was just talking about on the air, I've had the same letdown experience with my father.
Yes.
Even up until the point of like him threatening my whole life. Like I'm like,
oh my
whoa.
God.
And
Jesus.
I remember the very last time I saw my dad, because I saw him when my daughter was born. I was 30, and I hadn't seen him since I was like 22. When my daughter was born, the very first 6 months she was born, I struggled connecting with her. I tell people all the time, I didn't like her.
Wow.
Didn't like her. Named her and everything, but didn't like her. Could not. She would cry. I'd be so agitated, so irritated. I would just look at her with this disdain. I had no idea what was going on with me. And I felt bad because I'm like, why do I feel this way? This baby ain't did nothing to me.
Yeah.
You know, and
Was it triggering?
it was so super triggering, because at that point I realized I had to be something for her I never had.
Wow.
And
Yes.
for a man, one of our biggest legacies is our children.
Yeah.
And one of our greatest successes is our children.
Yeah.
So I was frustrated that I couldn't celebrate her existence because there was something holding it back. I remember God woke me out of my sleep. He was like, you need to see your dad. Wow. And I was like, no, I don't.
Right.
That was the first thing I thought. You gotta be joking, you know?
Yeah.
And because I hadn't seen him since I was 22, I'm 30. I'm like, I have no purpose of needing him.
Yeah.
No reason. He's probably living his life wherever he is. Don't care.
Yeah.
But God was like, you gotta go see him. I'm like, I'm not seeing him. God bothered me every day.
Wow.
I'm talking about like that. Remember how you was talking about the
that
burning when you get
feeling.
the music? I was burning.
Yep. He won't leave you alone.
I was burning. Not that kind of burning, but I was burning. and so I ended up going down to Georgia to see him. Took my daughter. And even when I got down there, he still did the same stuff. Like I remember he told me he was gonna make me a huge barbecue. He was, I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna cook for you. Went to Walmart, got all the food. The man didn't have no money.
Oh my
I
God.
had to pay for all the food. I was like,
What?
I didn't come down here for this.
Right.
And so still spend time with him. And what I realized was the moment wasn't for him. Because eventually down the line, he would, like I say, go into threatening my life, and I had to cut him off forever at that point.
Yeah.
Because I realized, like you, he couldn't be the dad that I wanted. Even though I wanted that relationship, couldn't get it from him, wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But what I realized was I went down there because I needed to heal. And so, like I say on the Beautiful Unknown Journey, on a song, I said, went to Georgia just to visit my daddy so I could heal and you could have you a daddy.
I love that.
Because she wasn't going to have one if I didn't heal.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was super. And so watching this video, I'm like, this.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Oh.
The GOAT.
Because only so many people and only certain people, I think, who have those experiences can understand.
Yes.
Not to say that people with two-parent households don't still feel abandonment by their parents, but there is something about missing parents that has a super toll. Yes. Super toll. Talk to me about, because at first I thought that he was in the video. I thought you was speaking to him in the video. I'm like, you finding some great people. You got a fake boyfriend, you got fake daddies in the video, but they all feel real. This casting is crazy. I was like, because honestly, I would have imagined that if you could have pulled that off, you would have.
Yeah.
As an artist, I think if anything, you want your real life and your music to just bleed into each other, because 100%. They do. And so you did the entire Daddy Issues album. Well, let me ask you this question first. Did he hear it?
Yeah.
His thoughts?
So I haven't heard verbally out of his mouth that he heard it, but from other family members. Okay. He still kind of like kept tabs on me on social media. Okay. Him and his family. It even came down to like an harassment because I was speaking about my experience on my social media, and obviously if I'm dropping an album, I have to promote it, which means you have to tell stories about things that have happened to you. And he didn't like that. I have a podcast with my mom actually on Planet Universal Crimes, and it's called Mental Health Talk. And
yep, I saw the podcast. Yeah. I watched it one night. Yep, shout out to y'all. Yeah. Shout out to the podcast. Give it some love. Girl out here doing everything. Okay.
Thank you. And I talked about it a lot on there because I don't view my experiences as something that I should keep to myself because I don't believe it happened to me for like to go in vain. It's not about me. I feel like it's about the people I'm meant to touch and impact.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm very open and vulnerable about like my experiences now. And obviously when you're the villain in the story, I'm not gonna like it. But my thing is, I wasn't even asking for, like, I'm not saying this to call you a terrible person. I'm not saying this because I'm, like, trashing you as my father. It was more so, like, take accountability. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I was going to say to you. I'm so proud of you for taking the initiative to go heal, because like you said, when you don't heal the traumas and the triggers in you can project that onto your kid, and like you said, without even knowing why or what. And I feel like it takes a lot of courage and bravery to look at yourself in the mirror and do that. So shout out to you.
I'm gonna get myself some.
Yeah, that's huge.
I'm gonna get myself some for sure.
Yes. Especially as a man too, I know it's natural to have like ego and a sense of pride, and it doesn't have to be a bad ego or pride.
For sure.
But just taking pride in things and
yeah.
wanting to be a hero. And I think for my dad, it's so hard for him to look at himself as the opposite. And growing up, like he was very like, you have to be perfect, and that made me grow up feeling like I have to be perfect, and like he held me to an unrealistic standard. So in his eyes, he's perfect. How can all these things I'm saying be true if I'm everybody's hero and you're telling me I'm not to you? But he didn't see that the behavior with me was different.
All right, we are back. We had some technical difficulties. Shout out to Mama. Came in the clutch. She working off the camera. She ain't even supposed to be working. I gotta pay her now. For working. So let's get into some music, and then we go come back for our last segment, because we didn't talk about all the music.
Yes.
We didn't talk about the pops. We didn't talk about, but now we gotta talk about the businesswoman. We gotta talk about this lip gloss. We gotta talk about all of this, and we gonna do that when we come back, and we play "Show Me Chivalry." Hey, now listen, give me a little bit about this song before, as I set it up. Give me a little bit about Chivalry, because I know you went into doing the challenge for it and everything. Give me, before we play it, some insight for the listeners about "Show Me Chivalry," because for me, what I enjoy about this, especially just coming off of listening to something like I Met a Guy, and now you have "Show Me Chivalry." I mean, it felt like I Met a Guy Part 2.
Yeah.
You know, so give me your insight to this song, because it's such a beautiful song, so wellly written. The music is great.
Thank you.
I gotta hit it with this. This is the button for what we call perfect songs.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Okay. It gets the Homelander perfect button right there.
Details.
Down to the minute detail. I mean, really a great song.
Thank you.
I tell people all the time, I'm now kind of coming as a rapper. I'm now coming into embracing. I'm doing a lot more singing because I can sing, and I always kept it on the back burner.
Yeah.
But I've also come into a more of a love for R&B soul music. I've always loved it. My mama, grew me up on it. Erykah Badu, Kelly Price, you name it, right? But as a man, I'm more so appreciating it for my own self as an artist as well, right?
I love that.
So you catch me, 5-6 years ago, and I'm be like, "Show me Chivalry." I don't want to hear all that. 5-6 years later, I've taken such a liking to R&B music, to love music, to just in general singing more.
Yeah.
And when I heard this, I mean, great song.
Thank you.
Great song.
Oh.
Get the button. Soon as it went off.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Don't miss. Super dope song. Tell me everything you can about this song, because I think it's, if you're asking me, and again, you have so much, music, and you have so many great songs that have different reasons why they're great songs. Yeah. But as I think from a top to bottom, this is hands down in my top 3, my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me your insight to this song.
So it was really a pivot from the whole daddy issues thing. I kind of wanted to talk about like evolving into like being a woman and being more confident in myself and having more of a sense of self-worth. I had I didn't really have self-worth. Like I lacked that for so long. Because when you have a stained, trauma like that, it kind of can almost identify you in a way if you let it. And I didn't want that to be my story. I wanted to evolve into something else. So yeah, that was me, like just wanting to attract the right kind of guy into my life that treats me with value, respect, and love. And I was just tired of the whole toxic thing. I've been attracted to people like my dad because that's what I know. And I know it's this thing where like girls like bad guys. It's not that we like bad guys. It's that that's all we know and that's our comfort zone because we grew up in dysfunction. So it's like when that's all you know, that's what you automatically attract to, and somebody that treats you opposite feels uncomfortable because you've never had that before.
Come on.
So that was me saying, I don't want this no more. Please give me the good guy.
I'm straight.
Okay, give me the simp. I want a simp. I don't. Okay, I don't want you like all about me today, and then you want to go be a Mr. Cool Guy tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
I want someone who shows me the utmost respect, love, and like is into me, and you know is consistent with it. I don't like the cat and mouse game. So yeah, that was me talking about that. Like,
And
that.
I'm gonna say because I want to get into this a little bit more, but we go jump into this song. Show Me Shivery, Lauryn Nichole, y'all. She is in the building. This is worth the price of admission.
Oh.
You should listen. If you're not listening on Apple Podcasts, if you're not listening on Spotify, if you're not listening on Google Podcasts, if you're not on Deezer, iHeartRadio, whatever you want to listen to, if you're not watching the YouTube version, I don't know what you're doing. Go do something with your life. Probably come here and experience life with this because we talking about life on this. But this has been a super dope interview. I'm glad we have Lauryn Nichole in the building with us. Let's get into Show Me Shivery.
Let's do it.
I done told y'all before.
This motherfucker don't miss.
I done told you before.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Okay. One time for the one time, man. She getting all the buttons right now.
Thank you.
So coming off of Shivery, and before we get into the businesswoman, I do want to ask you this because I'm 34, so I feel sometimes
You're 34?
like I'm 34.
I thought you were. That's when you were saying that. Like, oh, I did this when I was 16. When I was 22, I'm like, you're not in your 20s. I thought you were in your 20s.
I take it. She get a round of applause. Thank you.
I would have not guessed you were in your 30s.
Listen, my grandma, I shout out to my grandma. She in her 80s. She looked like she in her 50s.
Come on now, good genes.
So shout out to my mama. Same thing. So, you being 20, you are in this generation of era, right? And there are a lot of you see it the back and forths over what women want, what men want, who bring what to the table, blah 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 blah. But I think even more so, the thing that I have seen, even just in my little short era of living, because I know Mama Bar be like, y'all tripping compared to how we was.
Right.
There are a lot of misconceptions and misnotions about how young women are.
Yeah.
Right? The young women today have been overly sexualized, overexposed. There seems to be, they all want the bag, or they want niggas with the bag, and so for a song like Shivery, which is why
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Shivery is the GOAT. Listen, it is so rare to hear, even in R&B. A 20-year-old female saying, I just want love, I want Shivery, I want you to treat me with respect, I want...
Yeah.
Most of them are out here saying, and I know you hear it, bend me over, backward, my booty hole brown, all that stuff, they out here saying it all. And you come with Show Me Shivery, and I think that it says a lot about your character, it says a lot about what it is that you're looking for in life and how much you've matured. But what is it like for you? Because you're not growing up in an era where a lot of females would agree with you.
Yeah.
They might say it, but either their Instagrams or their Facebooks or their statuses or their posts does not reflect that. A lot of it reflects quick, fast lifestyles.
Yes.
Vacation trips, wine and dine me, spoil me with this, spoil me with that. And you rarely hear, show me love.
Yeah.
Show me patience. Show me kindness.
100%.
Show me Shivery. That word, when I'm like, when you put the song out, I was like, that still exists? People still say Shivery?
People
like,
say that? People do that?
Because it's so far gone.
It is. It really is.
How do you feel about that as today's era and you writing a song like this in today's era where that's not much seen?
I feel like that's why I wanted to put it out, because it is so uncommon for us to see songs like that. And I almost feel like too that's why like my journey has been a little bit harder to kind of like crack through the surface.
Okay.
Because I easily could just like twerk and
fall in line.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I could
Hit it.
just go crazy, you know? So, I don't know. My mom has just always taught me, like you said, characters, morals, values.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to make sure that bled into my music as well.
Sure.
And I always want to make sure that my music is who I am authentically and who I'm living by on a day-to-day, so that if I'm preaching this to people, that I'm living by it. I'm not just saying it. So yeah, I think it's important to bring it in so that there can be a balance, and for women to know that it's not about the bag all the time. It's not about like a man making like 20 figures and like being the richest. Like, what does that mean if they're not treating you right?
Come on.
What does that mean if they're cheating on you? What does that mean if they're abusing you emotionally, verbally, physically? So it's like, you could have all the money in the world and take me on all these trips, but if you're not respecting who I am as a person and treating me with love and respect, then I don't care about all that.
Yeah.
You could have the least money, but you treat me right and we could build together. You know what I mean? And I feel like people look at the wrong things, which is why we end up in toxic situations.
Come on.
Because we're chasing something that is temporary and that doesn't matter. But somebody's characters, morals, and values is something that can last. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that was seen and heard, because it's not common and people need to hear it. Like, it's not about the bag all the time. Now, it's a bonus if you have a bag.
Well,
but
nice.
hey, we could build that together. It's not the main course.
Yeah.
At all.
I think that's what sometimes people forget, is like life is about building with someone.
Yes.
A lot of times I used to hate the phrase like, you gotta come with your stuff and I come with my stuff. It's like, well, if I have everything, what do I need you for?
Exactly.
Except for companionship.
Exactly.
And some people don't need that. So
exactly.
a lot of times I realize like it's about building it. It's about not you just have your own place and I have mine. It's about, let's go get one together.
Exactly.
It's not like, oh, let me just have I have a car and you got a car. It's like, no, let's go get one together.
Yeah.
Let's go build a life together.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of times that's why it's so easy for a lot of people to just walk away, because they do feel like, oh, I got my own stuff. So the moment I really don't feel like I need you, I just go back to being solo.
100%.
Whereas when you build with somebody, you start to feel like, but this is ours.
Exactly.
And there's a sense
built
of
this
pride
together.
in it.
Exactly.
You know, so I agree. Super Dope, come on with the jam. Come on with the jam. I tell you what. I'll tell you this, mama. I didn't have these gyms when I was 20.
No.
I was young and dumb at 20. I didn't have all the answers. I tell you, she got all the answers.
Shout out to mama for talking
Shout out to
me my whole
mama,
life.
man. Shout out to mama. Don't miss.
She
Don't
don't
miss.
ever.
Don't miss. Now let's get into the business side
Let's do
of everything you are doing. Let's talk about the podcast first. When did you start the podcast? How did you get mama to get into it? Okay, because I think what the beautiful part is about the podcast is a lot of times the trauma that our parents and even, and I'm saying that as an equal to you even, a lot of times our parents will hide from us their traumas, their failures, their shortcomings, because again, if I am supposed to lead and guide you as a parent, the last thing I want you to do is see all these flaws I have too.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids experience, not really knowing their parents because their parents don't be as vulnerable, transparent with them. Doing a podcast about mental health and have moms on.
Yeah.
That means mama she also gotta join the bandwagon of transparency and vulnerability. And so how has that been for the two of you, and what is it like as her daughter, seeing, her telling those things and being transparent? What does it mean for you? What has the whole podcast experience been like?
The podcast has been freaking amazing. Our goal has always been to impact people and to tell our authentic, vulnerable stories. I feel like you said, it's very easy for everybody to shield like the trauma and the things that you've gone through, because we all want to be viewed really as good enough and perfect, and you know what I mean? Like all these societal standards. So we wanted to make sure that we showed on our podcast that it was okay to cry. It was okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to tell your story. And we wanted to provide a platform for people to be heard on. I feel like there's a lot of cases in life where me personally, I haven't felt heard, I haven't felt seen. And I feel like that's most people's stories. So yeah, it was really huge too. And I feel like that's why I've become the person I am, because my mom from day one, literally no joke, since I was 4 years old, as soon as I get out of school, how was your day? How are you feeling?
Right.
Like, always made me feel comfortable to share my emotions. Even if I didn't want to, she always like, well, if you want to talk, this is a safe space. No judgment. No, I'm not gonna whoop you. Even if I did something bad, I felt comfortable enough to go tell her, because she provided a safe space for me to feel like I can make a mistake and not get beat for it, or
Come on, parenting.
Yeah, or not get judged for it. So it's really cool, and I think it's inspiring for other parents to see her on there too, because she's inspiring other parents to be vulnerable with their kids, because it's hard for someone to grow up in a world that throws all these things at you, but they've never seen something before.
For sure.
So my mom has provided me almost like a blueprint, and obviously I still had my own experiences. I could look at her blueprint and still go screw up, but the fact is I knew what my outcomes could be.
For sure.
So I feel like she provided a space for me to see her flaws, see her failures, see everything that she went through, told me about everything she's gone through at my age level capacity, and it's helped me become very intellectual and knowledgeable, and
that's facts.
Yeah. and she's a huge reason why I'm able to articulate, because she's been helping me articulate since I was a young kid. Like, if I'm crying, okay, why are you crying? Like, tell me, what is the problem? Why are you feeling this? What happened? And I think it's so important to provide that space at a young age for kids, so that they can grow and evolve into be open people. Yeah. And obviously in the right times. I don't mean just go throw your heart to everybody, but to know how to regulate your emotions
and navigate them, for sure.
And heavy on navigate. Emotions are really hard to navigate.
For sure.
Especially if you grew up in a household where they're not allowed. And that's what most of us grew up in. What happens in this house stays in the house. We don't want to talk about it. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I didn't do that. Yeah. So, we have made that a huge topic in our podcast. And we've grown a lot. It's been 2 years officially. Or is it 3 now? 2? It's 2 years. Okay. I think on December 2nd of this year.
Oh, okay.
So recently.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
It's been great. It's been great. We've even run into people like just around Pandora, like, oh my God, you've changed my life. Like, seeing your podcast, like, someone told us that it helped them not commit suicide, actually. Wow. And I literally like almost started bawling my eyes out, because you never know who you're touching, who you're impacting. Sometimes I don't care, like even the lives, it's not like we get like hella views while we're doing the live. Like, sometimes there's 2, 3, 4, 5. For sure. But for us, it was never about numbers.
It's never about that.
Because that doesn't matter. And the fact that one person felt like, oh my God, you saved my life this night.
That's 10 million views right there.
Because that's a life that had these years of living and could have been taken. So that's why we do it, for impact and for people to feel seen, heard. And if we can help somebody make a decision like that to stay, that's fulfillment for us.
No, that's for sure. I think even as artists, when we're writing music, it's the same thing.
100%.
You know,
100%.
We want to make art or music or whatever, a podcast or anything that we wanted to impact.
Yes.
We wanted to impact.
Yes.
And so when you hear those type of things, hey, you saved my life. Hey, I was going through a real tough time. You know, your song got me through it. Yes. You just realize, like, man,
this is
what I was supposed to do.
Yes.
And imagine if I didn't do it. Imagine if I thought this.
Be here.
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
That's huge. There's so much purpose in that.
Congratulations to you guys for that, man. Now let's talk about the new venture.
Yay!
The lip gloss brand.
Yes, that's so exciting.
Rin.
Yes.
Now, why lip gloss?
I love lip gloss. You'll never. Okay, well, don't look at my lips right now because I done rubbed it off. I've been over here, but you'll never see me without anything on my lips unless it's rubbed off. Okay. And I don't know, I've just always been so passionate about like makeup products and just always caring about my lips. Like, I don't know, I feel like it brings out your look. There's one of them, this little sample.
Oh, come on, Pat. Come on, bring
we didn't use it up.
They need to see this.
Yes.
I wish I had a 3D thing that just through the TV right now if y'all can see this. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've just always been passionate about keeping something on my lips. I don't like feeling like my lips are cracked or chapped or, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just a girly thing. Like, girls just love feeling moisturized. So yeah, I was like, I've been trying to think of more business endeavors other than music to kind of like start
Yeah,
a path in
for sure.
and kind of make it personal to me. So it's like, okay, what are the type of things that I love? What can I, be passionate about and like execute? So
Yes.
lip gloss, I thought was like perfect to start with because I'm passionate about it.
Hey,
And I wear it every day. So
if
why
you
not?
love it, then do it. I always,
Exactly.
if you have a love for something, you have to chase after it because when you, especially for myself, I spent a lot of years doing things I didn't love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I did it because other people said it was good for me, or other people thought it was dope, or it did look interesting, but I didn't really believe in it either.
Yeah.
And for me now, everything I do, I love. I love movies and films, so I shoot them.
Yay.
I love music, so I do them.
Yeah.
I love talking to people.
Yes.
What
so
we're
you
doing
do
now.
it.
So
yes.
you have to tap into the things that you love because even when they're not fun, you will still do it.
Exactly.
And a lot of times people run into those issues. They do things and then when it's not fun,
They quit.
But when you love it, through the times when it's not fun, you will still do it because you just love that one thing.
Exactly.
So
you understand. You get it.
Listen, I get it now.
Get
I didn't have it at 20 like her, okay? I get it now. I got it here. So when did you come up with the name?
Okay, so my brand is duality. You'll notice that I have, like, when you meet me in person, I'm very bubbly, very excited about most things. But I also have a, like, darker emo version of myself, and I call her Lauryn. She's, like, my alter ego. But instead of R-Y-N, like, in Lauryn, it's R-E-N. So it's kind of, like, showing that we as humans all have two sides to us.
For sure.
And sometimes we mask ourselves because we don't want to let people know how we're really feeling. So Lauryn kind of represents the person that I'm afraid to be in public, and I'm not afraid anymore. But just trying to give people a full visual of like I could be this happy right now, and you would totally not know I'm depressed right now. And I could be home crying,
Come on,
and
I've been there.
You know what I mean? Having suicidal thoughts and having
Yep.
bad emotions. So yeah, I wanted to make that a part of my brand to kind of give people an okay to, like, it's okay to show this side of yourself too. But that's where I came up with Ren because that's the Ren. So it's like I'm gonna have like more bubbly lip glosses that are like pretty and pink, and some that are just neutral with black tubing. And
come on, I was just about to say you gotta have a duality in the lip gloss.
Black
That's
and white. So
super dope. Well, congratulations. Oh, come on, show
Thank
some
you.
love. Business owning. So when can people expect you to get it off the ground? When can they get one of these in their hand?
the plan is March 2024.
Okay.
I am planning on dropping a song that month too. So every time you get a song from me, you'll get a new lip gloss. Just expect that.
She wildin'. She wildin'. Now you got to do commercials with them and all that, and videos. She tripping.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Listen.
The GOAT.
Okay.
This motherfucker.
Don't miss. She don't miss. Listen, that is super, super dope. Lauryn, thank you so much for this.
Oh, thank you.
I knew that God had put it in my spirit when I was getting ready to bring this podcast, because the Rap Shyt brand was a magazine first that I started last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so as I was getting ready to bring back the magazine, I felt more inclined to just do interviews. And so I was like, well, I'm already doing it, because I have to literally do an entire another podcast after this, which is my podcast, the Not Very Mature podcast. So I was like, I'm already doing a podcast. I do music. I shoot films. I want to be doing like 3-4 podcasts. But I there's something about conversation that is way more impactful than writing a piece. You know, and so I was like, I'm gonna do this. And you were, again, when I hit you up back then, you were one of the first people to just drop in my spirit, because I just had been following your artistry and always showing support, and I was like, man, I gotta get her on here. I gotta chop it up with her. So I am so grateful and humble that you came through to drop these gems. Give all it. I mean, because you again, if I had this wisdom and understanding at 20, I'd probably be Tyler Perry right now. Okay, I'm on the way, but I should have been there if I had it at 20. But to hear you are such a survivor, such a warrior, and for you to have so much resilience in this life that is not easy, especially in today.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. and you just show up with so. And again, like you say, there's a duality, right? So for all of this great energy, I'm sure you'd be like, you don't know the days that I sit in the corner
gonna go home and cry
in the dark. But to even to press through that and still show up with so much light, so much energy, so much smiles, I mean, it's a blessing. Shout out to Mom. She getting some more love for coming through. 2024 is around the corner.
Yes.
So outside of the lip gloss, what can people expect from you? Is there another album on the way? Are you working on it? You've been in the lab? Is there some videos? Like, what can people expect? Because March is a long time away. I know it's around the corner, but that's still 3 months.
It is.
There got to be something you serving the people before then. I know you're going to be on the January 12th show. I'm excited to be.
Yeah, you are.
I'm excited to rock a stage with you.
Yes.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes.
But what can people expect 2024?
Expect kind of how we talked about a new era.
Okay.
My official era, I'm calling it. I feel like this journey has been me really discovering who I am as an artist, who I am as a person, and finding like my self-confidence and my self-worth and value.
Nice.
And yeah, I feel like I had like this year I steered so far away from myself. And just listening, like I finally let opinions get to me this year. People started to say like, oh, I don't want to hear darker music. I don't want to hear about sad topics. Like the stuff you talk about is too sad. I want to dance. That got to me. On top of my church disowned me and started calling me like a devil worshiper, and I joined Illuminati.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No, you didn't hit me with this at the end of the podcast. She want this to go a whole nother hour. Oh no, she
So
didn't.
you want to do it? We can do a part 2 if you want, or we can talk about it. Whatever you want.
We gonna have to do a part 2 because
Yes.
I can't believe you just hit. Because listen, I'm not gonna go because then we gonna do another hour. Keep
Right?
going.
So yeah, they disowned me. Said I joined the Illuminati.
Oh my God!
I'm like, I'm trying to spread the Lord's work, okay? And you telling me, but so yeah, that really, really got to me because
Okay.
God, like I even tattooed it on me. God is like something I value so much and cherish so much, and everything I do, I go to Him first. So for someone to tell you basically what God is telling me is not God, that was huge. Like it hurt really bad to the point where they were told to like unfollow me and my mom on social medias, to completely just disconnect themselves.
What?
So I'm like, am I doing something wrong?
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, okay, well, fine. That's kind of actually where Show Me Chivalry was born. Like, I still think it has a like dark sense to it, or feeling. But it was like the picture was bright. I was pretty. I had my pink on. I was like, y'all not gonna call me no devil worshiper.
Okay. I understand.
But I was kind of, it's disappointing though, because I did let opinions get to myself. Granted, I did get a good song out of it, but after that whole experience, I learned like, do not listen to people's opinions. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
For sure.
These are people's thoughts, and at the end of the day, nobody can see what God's vision is for me, but
sure.
what He's giving me. And it just doesn't matter. So they can just expect a found, complete version of me. I've discovered my official genre of music is dark pop.
Hey.
And yeah, I'm still going to talk about my sad topics. But one thing I did, which I'm so happy that people did say to me that they don't want to hear sad stuff, because when I listen to music, I don't want to hear something sad when I am sad. So I discovered like Cope. I don't know if you heard that song, but yes, I heard it.
Have I?
Yeah, Cope is like a sad topic, but it's upbeat.
Yes.
And I love that because you can embrace your emotions and
Yeah.
your sadness and still dance to it.
For sure.
So yeah, my official brand is dark pop, so expect dark pop music from me,
Nice.
talking about all the trauma I've been through, but making it fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, expect a new release from me in March. You actually might hear it at the January 12th performance. I'm gonna sing an unreleased song, possibly. So yeah, it's called I Don't Fit In, I Stand Out, and it's really like my goal is to truly just be the voice for people who feel like they don't have a voice.
Come on.
And standing true to that and standing like 10 toes down in
For
it
sure.
and just not caring about what people say. So
Okay.
yeah, expect for me to just stand 10 toes down in
Hey,
2024.
let's get it. I'm so excited. I'm excited. Okay. So go ahead. Give people your socials. How can they follow you? How can they find you? How can they do all the homework that I did and be on top of their game when they see you in public? Like, I know all your music. Drop the socials in the media content for people.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Lauryn Nichole Official. My name is spelled with a Y, so LaurynNichole Official. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, any streaming platform at Lauryn Nichole. That's LaurynNichole. And yeah, check out some of my stuff. I hope you like it.
Okay. No, they gonna like it. Because if you don't, you got a problem. You need to understand.
This motherfucker don't miss.
She don't miss. I don't need to hear nothing about some. I don't want to hear no sad music. You better wake up. Listen, Lauryn, thank you again so much for this. We got to do a part 2.
We do.
I know your schedule. Listen, that schedule of yours is something crazy.
Man.
So you got to fit me in where you can.
I definitely will.
But I appreciate you so much. Mom, thank you so much for your support. You have given this world something special.
Aww.
And I truly mean that. Like, I think we are a true representation of our parents and what the work they put into us.
Yes.
And so she clearly shows that you put the work in.
Aww.
That is super dope. Give her one more, Mom, give one more applause on the podcast. Guys, it is yours truly, Mature the Servant, the world heavyweight champion of everything vibey, leader of the Wolfpack, the man who is forever cool, forever calm, and forever sexy.
Okay.
Listen, this is the Rap Shyt Podcast. I am glad that you guys have checked us out. Don't forget you can follow us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us 5 stars and a rating. Okay, let Apple know that this is a for real show that you like. Okay, because listen, on this podcast we do 2 things. We go run some music, we go spin some music, and we go do some interviews. You can't ask for more. Okay, unless you Kobe Bryant and Kanye West in that one commercial.
Yes.
But until then, guys, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.